Capote, and my cat won't get off my play mat. She was playing with my cards earlier. Maybe I'll put a little video at the end to show you guys. But today we're doing a hero deck profile, something we haven't done in a long time because I've been busy because of everything. Um, and yeah, but for now, I do want to do this because I think it's been a long time and people have been playing in a format where it's kind of like, oh, heroes kind of suck. Um, and that is because of Bystials. Bystials have sort of not ruined the game for rogue decks, but made rogue decks very hard to play, especially if they're focused around dark or light monsters, or if they have a key dark or light monster in the graveyard. It makes it really hard to play. It makes it really frustrating sometimes when you see like you try to play around everything, but in the end they just have the Bestial and it's like rough. Or if they have more than one Bestial, then it's like, what can I do? All my plays are gone, you know? Um, and the fact that they are 2500 really hoses the deck because Plasma is 19 and Dark Law is 24. So even if you end up on like an emergency Dark Law, like just Dark Law on the field with something like Set or something, you're going to end up losing because Dark Law is 24. Um, See, Kitty agrees with me. Anyway, let's get into the deck profile. So we're going to do the extra deck first. Actually, the main deck first. Let's do. So first, we're going to start off with 3 Elemental Hero Stratos. Now, the reason I play 3 Elemental Hero Stratos is because he searches, he pops spawn traps, which can be really important, especially with certain decks in the format. Like the Valence FDK. Well, I guess if it's an FDK, it doesn't really matter, but sometimes you can stop it. Or if you go first, you can do something. I don't know, but stuff like runic, stuff like runic stun for sure. There can be only one. You could even if they this is non-targeting, so if they chain it to your Stratos summon, which a lot of people forget about this spell and trap card destruction, so it's just really useful. Also because Ian Shuffle is in the format, it makes normal summon Stratos an amazing move, or special summon Stratos with your hero lives even really good. I'm not playing Cross Keeper because I wanted to put other cards in the deck, and I'll explain what cards those are when I get there. Then we have 2 Shadow Mist. I know I just said that Elemental Hero normal summon is really good, but when you normal summon Shadow Mist, you don't really get anything, especially if you shuffle them back in the deck with the Shuffle. It's not as good. So I do still play 2 because I don't want to see more than one in my opening hand. If I see one, it's fine. If I see none, it's usually better. Oh, Kitty's playing. Um, Anyway, then we have 1 Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. I think at least 1 Liquid Soldier is really good. I don't know about 2. It's really good for recovery, yeah, but most games aren't lasting over turn 2 or 3. And even then, a lot of the time you're scooping because you can't do anything. Um, but Liquid Soldier, I think he's vital specifically because of the resource loop you can do with him and Sunrise. When he's used for fusion material, you can draw 2 and discard 1, which if you open really bad and you have a way to get into Sunrise, it can turn on your hand instantly and it makes it a lot better. And Ian Shuffle works with extra deck monsters too, so a lot of the time if you summon Sunrise, have Ian Shuffle in your hand, you can draw 2, discard 1, and then get into Stratos, which is really good. Or even Shadow Mist if you draw into something that would help you there. But anyway, that's that. Then we have 2 Vision Hero Ferris. I don't think 3 is necessary anymore. I think especially because you're focused on the elemental hero cards, I think it's a lot better to just not max out on Ferris, specifically because a lot of time the lock is hard to deal with, especially when I'm playing Abyss Dweller in the extra deck, which I think is really good and is something that you can go into a lot of the times now with Ian Shuffle because you can go into Abyss Dweller first with your 2 elemental with your elemental hero stuff, and then go into after you use the Marine Dolphin and after you use the Stratos or have an extra card on field because of Hero Lives, and then you can go into Abyss Dweller and then go into your Ferris plays, right? So I think the opening 3 isn't as necessary because you'd rather have something else in your hand, right? Then we have 1 increase, again, not 2 increase because it's not as necessary, and if you draw into it, it's kind of rough. Then 2 Vion. Two Vion I really like because I've seen a lot of people play three Vion, but a lot of times like this isn't, especially with Ian Shuffle and the way the deck is now. I think the big strength of the deck is stuff that you can do with Ian Shuffle, is stuff you can do with the elemental heroes. I think it's just a lot better, and this unfortunately is not an elemental hero. This is a vision hero. If it were an elemental hero, it'd be insane because that'd make it so much better. But Ian Shuffle, I think, is just really good right now, and there's another reason why I'm going to, and I'm going to get to that in a few cards. I just need to explain these cards first. One Denier, you don't play more than one Denier because you really want to see him in the graveyard. All that he does happens in the graveyard. If you ever normal summon this guy, you're down bad. So you want to get him in the graveyard, and you can only activate his effects once per turn or even once per duel for the summon back effect. So with having two in the graveyard doesn't really do anything. Like, yeah, if they DD Crow one, then it's rough, but like it's fine. Like, then one Dark Angel. This is a card that I've seen a lot of people not play anymore because they say, "Oh, it's so bad." But think about it. Like, a lot of the things that a lot of decks are doing involve spell cards, and even then, a lot of the removal that people are playing are spell cards. So if you have your Dark Law DPE on the field and you have Dark Angel, that's the main thing that this deck is going to go for because it's just it's harder to get rid of Dark Law. And yeah, people can play droplets and that works and it turns on the droplets. And I've heard that not excuse, but that reasoning a lot. But again, if it turns on one card as opposed to turning off like 10 cards that like just hose your deck because Raigeki oh my gosh, Raigeki is just an auto lose for your deck. It just makes it a lot better to play something like this, and it's an auto win against a lot of decks, so why not, then we have two Malicious. I would play more if I could, but it is at two. Malicious is just instrumental to the deck. I think it's really important. Then we have Plasma. I still play this. It's a good backup, It's a good, if they hose all your way of getting to everything, you can just search Plasma, summon 3 monsters off of Ferris if you searched him, and then just summon him, and it's a good like emergency. Also, some decks don't really get affected by Dark Law, so if you just summon Plasma, that usually works. Then one Honest Neos. This helps you go into your second DP later in the game, but it also helps you get over or protect your things. Cat, if you jump on my stuff, I'm gonna poop. Anyway, one Adjusted Gold. Now, this is another thing in the deck that's a little bit, I don't want to say controversial. A lot of people still play the Adjusted Gold, but like it loses to Bystial. But a lot of times, what people don't like not realize, but what I don't think people think about is that this isn't going to be your first or even second thing. The Adjusted Gold is always going to be like a way to go for game or a way to like back up everything you do, right? It's like, oh, if I don't really need anything else, I'll search Adjusted Gold to get Bane on my second turn. And yeah, by that time, most likely they'll have already used all their Bystials, and yeah, like Druid's Worm trades for it because it just sends to the graveyard, it doesn't destroy, but it's a way to clear that Druid's Worm and then go into your combo, right? It takes very minimal investment, right? Just one card in your graveyard and the Adjusted Gold to search. So, and it gets Bane on the field, which clears you the board and helps you be able to go into a lot of things. Or even with, against Tyr, it just clears the Rukalos, right? They just negate the Dark Calling, and then you go into all the stuff that you really want to go into, right? It's just a good, for 2 cards in the main deck, I think it's worth it. Then we have the most controversial thing that I'm playing. I'm playing, here, I'll show in the extra deck. I'm playing these 3 cards along with the Instant Contact in the main deck. I'll show you guys Instant Contact. Just let me get to it. I was going to do it like, not all at once, but I don't care anymore. Where is it? There it is. So, I'm playing this package. And why am I playing this package, you say, when Tyr is the best deck in the format? Well, because there is a certain package of cards that really hoses this deck real hard. And that is the Bystials. What this does is it allows you to get a level 4 and a Neos on the field that can look at your opponent's hand before you commit to anything besides your normal summon. So you normal summon Stratos, you search for whatever you need. Then you go into this if you have Ian Shuffle. And what does this do? This lets you look at your opponent's hand, and it lets you discard a card with equal attack to the with equal or less attack to Neos, which is 2,500. So that means if they have a Bystial, um, then then you get rid of the Bystial. If they have two Bystials, you know they have two Bystials, and you can play around it. Or maybe even just try to do something like knowing that they have a Bystial, right? And it helps you go into another level 4. So if you special summon the Stratos off of what's it called, a hero lives, or in another way, or just normal summoned him even, and have another way to get a level 4. Maybe you have a um, what's it called, another way to get a level 4. I don't know. Maybe you play something else. Then you can go into Abyss Dweller, which is really helpful. It really helps the deck like actually fight tier. And all it takes is just one card in your hand, which is Ian Shuffle, which is again really why I think it's just important to play it, because Bystials are something that the deck has a lot of trouble playing against. A lot of rogue decks have trouble playing against, and it's kind of rough because it makes it so rogue isn't as good anymore. But this I think this package helps sort of combat that a little bit. It helps, and on top of that, you get hand knowledge, so you know exactly what to make to hose the deck. And game one, you know what your opponent's playing in case they aren't playing tier, which is like going to be rare, but you know it happens. Then we have 3 Ghost Spell again to fight the Bystials. 3 Emergency Call because you want to see your Elemental Hero Stratos. You want to see your Liquid Soldier as much as possible. Then 1 Reinforcement for the army, just because of the same thing. 3 A Hero Lives for the same reason. A Hero Lives just gets Stratos on the field for free and lets you normal summon later. You can search another Stratos, then overlay it for, what's it called, Abyss Dweller with the Marine thing, and it works really well. Then 3 Ian Shuffle, I see a lot of people playing 2, but I think with the Neos package is really important to play 3 to see it as much as possible. Even if you end up seeing 2 in the same hand, it's fine. And another thing is with the Neos package, once you get Neos into the graveyard to say fuse for DPE because he is a level 7 or higher, you can shuffle the Neos back and so you can do it again and then draw 1 card, which is again really helpful. Then 3 Mass Change. 3 Fusion Destiny, because again, this card's insane. 1 Dark Calling for the Absolute Zero stuff. 1 Miracle Fusion for the Advantage Loop, and 2 Polymerization. This is another thing that's a little bit different. The 2 Polymerization I think is really good because it helps in the grind game a lot, and it also helps you get recovery for later. So if you already open a polymerization, you can still search the second one with Vion, and it helps go into other things. So like a lot of the time with heroes, the problem that I found is like getting that second poly, having to go into Wonder Driver, and having to have Wonder Driver in the extra deck is kind of rough because it's just harder. It takes a lot more investment than just like search Vion off of something like turn 1 and get it for follow-up, and then search the second poly next turn and go into Liquid Soldier or something, go into the Sunrise Absolute Zero play. Then let's go into the extra deck. We have 2 Cross Crusader. This is the best extender in your deck, unfortunately, even though it's a really bad extender because it locks you into everything, and just it's kind of rough. I wish we had a better one, but it's good enough for what we have. Then we have 2 DPE because they're going to get rid of your first one. A lot of people are going to save the Bystials for your DPE, even though it isn't the right play. And another thing that I have to say about this is a lot of the time before, people would pop the DPE to be able to get that advantage of like free pops. But a lot of times you can end with like an extra card on field with heroes. So I recommend popping the extra card just so they don't get rid of your DPE, and it just gives your monster. They can get rid of it, but if they're going to get rid of it anyway with a Bystial, you might as well have them work for it, right? Then the Sunrise and the Absolute Zero for the resource loop. 1 Lingeribo. People at my locals are still playing the Ibli lock, and I think with Sprite it is something to that you have to keep in mind. So it's really just useful to play Lingeribo to be able to out that, because otherwise the only way you can out that is normal summon Ferris by tributing the Ibli. Then one Abyss Dweller because you can make this with the Ian Shuffle and what's it called? Instant Contact thing. Two Dark Law. This is probably the most important card in your extra deck because it just hoses tier, and if you get a way to protect it, it's just great. One Blast to be able to protect your Strato Search if you really need it, or if you have two Mass Change in hand, who knows. One Acid just in case for the absolute zero. One Dread Decimator because sometimes they interrupt you a lot and you just need to go for game, and this really helps, especially in late game when you have like 50 heroes in your grave. And then one Malicious Bane to be able to push and bait out negates. And yeah, that's it for the extra deck. I tried to make this a little bit shorter than they've been in the past, just because I feel like it'll be more digestible for people. I didn't go into all the card effects. I just went into the important stuff, right? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the deck. Let me know what you think about your builds. If you have any questions, I can definitely answer them. I don't think I'm the best hero player. I don't think I'm the best player in general, but I've done pretty well. Like, I've done well at the regionals. I've done, like, I think I know a thing or two. You know, I'm considered a good player at my in my community. So if you guys need any help with anything, if you guys want to just uh, go over anything, I do have a link to the Discord in the description. So if you want help with hero decks or other decks in general, I can give. I play a lot of rogue and a lot of even meta. I do have tier decks and stuff if I want to. I don't usually play them because I just feel bad. But if you want to discuss anything, join the Discord and we can talk things over. And yeah, here's my cat. She's cute. See you guys later. Those of you who finished the video, my cat is very interested in my hero deck. You know she's a Yu-Gi-Oh player at heart. Yeah, okay, you stop trying to knock it down. So she's there. She likes playing with it. Just a little bit of extra stuff for you.